Okay.
Oh man.
So the way that I want to die. Okay, wait. So before we were talking about Frig, Marry, Kill.
Right, the Minecraft bucket, the Legend of Zelda bottle, or a World of Warcraft max inventory space pouch.
You absolutely marry that Legend of Zelda bottle. I have spent hours pursuing those bottles. I played. People don't realize how much Ocarina of Time I have played. Okay, and I love those bottles. The milk, love it. The red potion, love it.
The fairy.
The little fairies, for some reason, you just have to randomly swing a bottle at and they swim right into it. Love it. Because I'm not very
a little
good
weird
at
about
video
that part.
games, and I like getting resurrected quickly. So 100% Mary, love me a bottle. I always hated a Majora's Mask when you'd lose one. Anyways, so annoying. Okay, Mary. I've never played Minecraft, but I'm gonna marry that I'm gonna marry the bucket because
you already married the bottle.
Oh, I'm gonna fuck the bucket because I feel like I like the sound of a fuck bucket. And then I'll kill the World of Warcraft max inventory bag. You give me like 8 alts with 6 slot pouches, I'm just as happy.
Yeah, you know, the thing about the World of Warcraft bag is that it represents so much capitalism inherently. Like, in order to get one, you have to engage in an economy, you know? Like, they're expensive. The really nice ones are really expensive, like in-game.
It's true.
That's true.
The way that I would most like to die?
No, that's not the question.
What was it?
It's what's the most epic way you would die?
You would want to die,
most
yeah.
Epic way I'd want to die. I think I'd like to die doing a forever stream of the Concord and Illuminati here on the Table. Hi, my name is Molly, and I am your game master. The disembodied voice you hear asking me questions is currently making a stew. Her name is Scarlett. She's plays Bayou, whose pronouns are they, them. What?
What kind of stew has spicy onions and pickle juice?
I don't
I'm
know.
sure there's a stew out there for that.
Probably the kind of stew someone who drinks pickle juice straight would
listen. Everyone in this group but you, Molly, would enjoy that stew. And you know what? Actually, everyone except for Molly, you're invited to my house for pickle stew.
You know what?
Pickles.
Here's the most epic way I'd like to die: of malnourishment from not eating that damn pickle stew when it's the last food left on Earth.
Your last option for sustenance?
Yeah, yes, I'll die.
You've heard it here. Molly says no to pickle stew.
Yeah, Molly hates pickles.
Wait, isn't Stu Pickles a character in Rugrats?
Stu Pickles is a character in Rugrats, yes.
The dad of Rugrats.
Yeah, I think that's the dad. One of the dads.
And so I'm gonna throw the intro. My name is Molly. I use she, her. The disembodied voice is Scarlett. She uses she, her. She plays Bayou, who plays they, them. I'm gonna throw it over to the person who plays Celstrina.
I play Celstrina, who uses she, her. My name's Adora, and I use she, her also.
Throw it down to our friend in Baltimore.
Hi, I'm Trev. I use they, them pronouns, and I'm playing Erish, the lovable Minotaur who uses she, her pronouns.
And seriously wonders if the rest of the party is okay. I
feel like the answer is no.
The quick Zinsha Celestrina antagonism / bickering is really become a thing for Erish.
Listen, I think that every member of this party seriously wonders if the rest of the party is okay. I don't think that's
don't.
Zinsha doesn't know what a party is.
The other three.
And then finally, coming to you from an coming you from an undisclosed location deep underneath a pile of Slay the Spire board game empties and misprints, shaking and holding a cup of coffee is...
Hi, my name's Penny, and I use they, she. Those are my slow nouns.
Hey!
Wow.
Hey.
Well, what are your fast nouns?
They, she. Okay, so I'm playing Zinsha, who uses they, them, but doesn't actually understand what that means.
It's cool because the more you know as a human, which we have, we like hot takes here on the Concord Illuminati. I think it was Cookie Monster is overrated, I think was one of the first hot takes that we got into on this.
I kind of agree with that. I don't know.
It's okay. You don't have to hold that opinion. It was a season 1 take. It was a hot take.
Other hot take, the Count, underrated. Significantly.
Okay. My ex, check her out on Instagram. Emily Wooten Maid, Emilee. She used to play this song that featured the Count, and it was him like waltzing around his castle, and it was 1, 2, 3, pick up your cape, 1, 2, 3, do a little dance, or something like that. And there were these little bats that would go batty bat, batty batty bat, shh, 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 batty bat, batty 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 bat, shh, shh, shh. And now I've retold this entire song, but it was a very impactful thing for me.
I don't know if it's just me, but the Count really gives me like soft Dom energy, and I'm here for it. So you know.
Yeah, I want the Count to like tell me I'm a good girl and like pat me on the head, you know?
Oh, Scarlet.
Head pat.
Scarlet.
This is a family-friendly stream. You can't be talking about head pat.
Scarlet, you are such a good girl.
Count with me now.
One.
Dreams are reality, guys.
2 head pats. 3 head pats.
And how many head pats is that?
Oh no.
Scarlet eventually will join us in Meet Space.
I'm coming back.
However, I'm gonna do our little intro here to this our 7th episode of the 4th season of the Concord Illuminati. Here we go. Dawn breaks, and the heat is stifling here in the northern jungles of the Malgaktar lands. Celestrina spent a few hours the night before detailing an intricate plan. Information from her turncoat giant friend was quickly twisted and spun into the cloth of a plan that will get her past the guards.
Are you a turncoat if your mind has been magically manipulated?
Say again?
Are you a turncoat if your mind has been magically manipulated?
That's a great question.
I'm just sorry.
It's a matter of perspective, right? It's a matter of perspective.
I mean, if he didn't want to be a turncoat, he shouldn't have failed the wisdom save. Like,
that's true. He shouldn't have dressed like that. Honestly,
let's take
let's take the person who was manipulated and blame them for being the turncoat. Real victim blamey, I see.
I really love the way that this podcast is white knighting for the guy who was about to eat them. I think that's great.
Hey, I mean, I don't want to get into the intricacies of D&D and how a lot of the spells that manipulate you remove agency both in the character and the player, so you know.
It is something that we as GM... Okay, anyways,
no, we can have that talk later.
She rattles through a series of magical disguises. She works on perfecting the faux ties on her on a conjured set of on a pair of logs to get the perfect slip knot just right so that her allies might be able to loose themselves in a moment should they need to, but the knot will pass inspection. She thinks of ways to coach Erish back into the character of Minta. She's prepared. The waystones that suspend the portal to the interior of whatever lies beyond will undoubtedly remain open for her and her friends, and they will walk directly into Kranusha's trap for them. It's gonna be great.
We have our plan.
As the party comes to and gets their armor together, gets started on the day, the sound of waterfalls fills the ears of Bayou.
Yep.
And Bayou, you hear the words echo through the waterfall. My lash.
My lash?
My lash.
Excuse me?
They are turning my darkest moments against my community of... They are turning my darkest moments against my community of faithful. They are just co-opting righteous indignance and making it into a weapon of mass destruction. I've made mistakes. Of course I have. I was immortal once. The Vision's emissary will bring the end of all things if that dead god is returned to life. Who knows what horrible powers Hirja will have imbued it with.
So this is Admor speaking, I'm assuming?
Yep.
Bay's assuming?
Yep.
To Bay, or I'm just like hearing this?
To Bay.
Okay. Okay. Say again. I'm sorry. I wasn't prepared.
No, we're not doing anything. It's fine. I'm not busy.
I got you, girl. Yeah, it's no problem.
It's all
My
good.
lash.
It's all good.
They are turning my darkest moments against my own community of faithful. They are going to co-opt the righteous indignance of Tolgith and make it into a weapon of mass destruction. The Vision's emissary, Hirja, will really bring the end of all things if the dead god is returned to life. Who knows what horrible powers they will have imbued it with by the time they're done.
So you don't want me to bring back Tolgith then, is what you're saying. That's what I'm picking up.
They are doing it right now, as we speak.
Bringing back Tolgith?
Yes, they are
Hirja
bringing
is.
back an abomination. They are freeing the rage-filled creature that I once imprisoned there with who knows what kind of magic. That is what is waiting for you in this hellhole.
I feel like that's not the whole story, though, is the thing. Like, I got a different story about you, like, subjugating an entire group of people for the convenience of your own people. And, like, I understand that it was maybe a matter of survival.
Bayou, my lash. I made mistakes.
Are you calling me Lash? Am I the Lash in this scenario?
Yes. You are the only light cleric.
God speaking to Jesus, my son, Michael Sarah. Oh, you mean me? Like, oh wait, that's me. Like,
well, like Bay's feeling very disenfranchised about the whole Oddmore situation. So
disenfranchised or disenchanted?
Probably both.
Okay.
Yep. Okay, so explain to me what you think is going to happen if Hirja brings Tolgith back. And why would Hirja want to bring Tolgith back? That doesn't make any sense to me.
Because my mistake 1,500 years ago, my mistake sealing the creature in, and I made a mistake when I sealed it in that prison, and I made a mistake when I didn't kill it. I count both as mistakes.
What? I don't understand why they're separate. What was the first mistake?
Sealing it in the prison and doing away with the faith.
What else would you have done?
he kind of like he sits there and stumbles like what else would I have done had I not been jealous and immortal?
Yeah.
In retrospect, the faith was not the problem.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I'd agree with that. Do you think maybe like you were part of the problem?
I don't think that me bringing water to the Daggerlands was particularly problematic. No.
No. I'm just saying, like, but you've admitted, right, that sealing Talgeth away was like not the best thing that you could have done.
Yes.
Yeah,
I
so
will
like
admit that freely.
maybe like you were part of the problem is all I'm saying, and you should admit that to all your followers and me right now.
I will admit that.
Oh, good. Okay, great. So what would
1,500 years
happen?
later, what we have is a god who's been sealed away for a millennia and a half, who's being corrupted right now by a force that is one of the most powerful that we've ever seen outside of the outside of the divine canon.
Hirja is corrupting Tolgeth. That's what you're telling me.
Tolgeth has marinated in a stew of bitterness for 1,500 years.
I got that.
And is ready to take it out on all of the people you've ever known, and you.
What if we tried like
just set it loose?
I just like feel like we should try and talk to Tolgeth. You know, we should get his perspective on the situation.
I hope that you get the opportunity. I think Cranoosh has already bent the frog's ear.
Well, okay. Like, let's suppose I'm not going to say that I'm still like a disciple of yours because I don't feel comfortable with that terminology anymore. But like, let's suppose
we're not dating anymore, but it's like a situationship. Like, you give me power.
We flirt in a very like social situations, but like we're not like if anyone asks, we're not together. Like,
let's suppose that we have the same goal of like not having all the Udmorcians dead, right? That goal we can agree on.
Yes.
To feel comfortable moving forward with this relationship, I'm gonna need I need to talk to Tolgeth. You know, I just need to get that side of the story. Can you arrange that?
No. I'm telling you, you're about to go where Tolgeth is.
Well, I know, but like I would like to speak to him before we get to that point, you know? Like it seems like at that point it's not going to go well.
In there.
Well, there's no way. There's no way to talk to him though. That just seems like you should. I know you. You put a back door in.
Is that Molly?
Yes, the one that you're going to go into, the one that the Giants are holding open.
Quick question, just because I want to know for like, is this all happening telepathically or inside Bay's head, or like, are we as the rest of the party just seeing Bay like
talking to a waterfall,
talking to themselves, like just out in the open? Like, what is the
awkward puppet meme? Just like.
Yeah, like what is going on here? Like, do we see anything, or is Bay just kind of sitting in the corner, like kind of zonked out for a minute?
I think Bay is like sitting up in their bunk, in their tent, in their bedroll, and like kind of like dissociating for a minute.
Okay, all right.
So, okay, here's what I'll ask you. You can't help me with that, apparently, which I think might be a lie, but that's okay. It's not the first time you lied to me. I'm sure it won't be the last. What would your like ideal outcome in this scenario be?
I want my followers to be safe. I want the water to flow. I want a world without Hirja and without whatever malevolent influence is surging up from the center of Garajwil.
Okay.
And if incorporating, if bringing this to light and carrying the memory, incorporating the memory of these people into what we do becomes a facet of it, so be it. I think that makes sense.
Are you, like, what are you willing to give up to atone for the mistakes that you've admitted to making in this scenario? Like, we've established this is kind of like your fault at this point, right? So I just want to know, like, how are you going to fix the situation?
I don't think I can undo 1,500 years of wrong. I can't bring back Tolgith, the creature that once was, the mortal that once was. I don't think is still there. And nonetheless, before I did this wrong to Tolgith, Tolgith did a great wrong on our people as well.
Does Bay, wait, hold on, just pause for a second. Does Bay know that? What wrong?
Yeah, they literally kept all the water from flowing into the Dagon.
Oh, when they built the dam. Okay, yeah. All right.
They did not deserve to have his memory wiped from the face of the earth with force the way that I did it. I regret that.
I would agree with that. Yeah. What are you asking me to do here? You just popping in? You just popping in to let me know?
I'm trying to make sure that the one who knows the truth of what we're doing here doesn't see my evil and my wrong and look at the face of a greater wrong and choose them over me. And they're referring to Hirja. And now if Hirja ends up lined up with Tolgeth, like that, he's very concerned that Bayou is like going down the Llewellyn road.
Right. All right. Listen. First of all, I want to ask you, are there any other secrets that you're keeping that you'd like to share with me now? And this is an open space. This is safe. There's no judgment here.
There decidedly is judgment by you.
No,
I
not
can
right now.
sense it in your core.
No, this is a safe space right now that I'm offering to you. We listen, we don't judge.
You can ask questions.
Okay.
I'll give you a question. He'll answer straight up or down.
Okay.
That's
okay.
not like, do you have more secrets?
Right. Do I believe? I want to know. Do I believe that Ardmores doesn't have a way for me to communicate? There's no other way for me to communicate with Tolgith before this clandestine meeting with Hirja?
You are and he will answer, and they will answer honestly. Like they will sit there, and you'll kind of see the form of them in the waterfall, the distinctive facial hair.
Wait, this isn't my question. I want to know if, from what I've asked up to this point, if Babe believes that.
Yeah. I mean, like if the goal.
Like, I don't see like a sliver of, like, I don't know, indecision in his face, or like, untruthfulness. No.
You don't. Yeah, I mean, like they're a god, so like you're not gonna be able to like insight check them. Like they're gonna present the information they're presenting to you, and you sort of have to do with it what you will. There was this big lie that there was this big concealed thing, but it's not like in your life of servitude to Ardmores that there's been like a lot of times where you've been let down. It's sort of like this one big thing definitely happened.
Okay. I'm gonna say, remind me again, Molly, what do we know? All the people were also wiped out, all of Tolgeth's supporters? Or they're still around?
Just their memories of Tolgith and all the religious ceremonies.
Where are
were
they
eliminated.
now?
Oh, some of them have integrated into well, you kind of don't know right now. But there's not evidence that they were like eliminated. It's evidence was that they sent around like memory mages, and the memory mages eliminated the memory and the thoughts of this god in the towns and replaced it with Udmore's, kind of like straight up 1-for-1.
Okay. I want. Are you willing to? I guess my question is, you're asking for my help, basically, right now. Are you willing to give me a boon?
What do you want?
I don't know yet, but I know that you need my help, and it seems like I'm really the only one that you're able to communicate to right now, and that's able to affect change in this situation for you. And so I would like a favor.
Okay. They're amenable.
Okay. I will take this information on board.
Yeah.
Bay isn't gonna promise Admor's like fealty or, you know, if given the opportunity, murdering Tulgith or whatever. They're still a little bit unsure. And they are gonna try. They're gonna do what they're gonna try and communicate with Tulgith. They're at least gonna try. But they, you know, fundamentally understands that like a lot of people's lives are at risk, and if it comes down to getting these fundamental answers or killing all of the Udmorsian people, they will probably choose the Udmorsian people.
All right. So Bayou finishes their kind of dissociative meditation as they're kind of sitting up in their bedroll, and as the rest of the party hears.
Oh, before I go, I have one more question for you.
Okay.
Last time I was here in the God realm, I heard about this thing. Have you ever heard of an extended warranty?
Okay.
And you and Udmore's, you will feel you'll feel this spell. You'll feel a casting of Death Ward fall over you as you are shunted from the celestial realm.
This is just a word that I heard. I don't know, man.
It's just it. You hear the blood giant kind of is awakened with the gag and smoke, and is like and is like trying to like roll his body around. Looks at Celestrina in Spanish.
Are we all in scene now?
Yeah.
Hey Celestrina, do you have any more of that brain control, mind control spell to make this guy friends with us again?
Yes. We talked about this yesterday. That's the plan for this whole morning.
Mm-hmm. Oh, was I not supposed to tell him? Does it like not work if I tell him?
Yeah, so like the plan basically was that like okay, yeah, the plan was that I would just keep casting it until they fail and then we could move on. And then if I cast twice and they fail or they succeed twice, then we just wait another hour while they scream at us.
Mm.
And I just said that out of character. How would you like to play that, Molly?
You want to throw the suggestion down?
Yeah. Well, it's whatever other preparation that we have to do. This is kind of probably the like, I don't know, as long as how far away are we?
You are hour and a half's walk.
Okay, yeah. Then the suggestion is the last thing, or rather the first thing that we do, because it lasts plenty of time for us to do other preparation.
Okay. So, first saving throw. It will fail. It was a 4 on the die.
We're good.
And he kind of like, he's like,
I'm gonna go take the gag out of his mouth and be like, hey, you seem really uncomfortable. Did you not like our traditional sleeping getup? This is how we treat honored guests.
I did not. No, please take this off of me.
Oh, well, I'm so sorry. This is how we treat honored guests from where I'm from. And I start to undo his ties.
And he he stands up, cracks his neck a few times. A spiral of blood starts to whirl around him. And he says, all right, so I'm taking you all in as prisoners, right?
Yeah.
No, so like I guess the suggestion today will be to like help us peacefully infiltrate the what's the name of it?
Oh, it's the camp at the foot of the waterfall.
Yeah. So like the suggestion can be like help us peacefully infiltrate the camp at the bottom of the waterfall and like achieve our goals there that don't involve dealing damage to you or your allies.
Okay. So
then we can talk about the plan generally with him. Is it him?
Yeah.
Yeah, so we can say like so here's the deal. And Celestrina will cast Disguise Self to look like one of the cultists from the previous season. I am not appearing as a prisoner, and neither is sorry, what is the name of Trev's character, the like fake name? Mintha. Neither is Mintha. So the three of us will approach together. It is going to be Bayou and Zinsha who will be prisoners. And the Celestrina will go on to say, like, if they ask where the others were, we'll just say that they were too unruly, so we killed them. The only instructions we had to bring them alive was Celestrina, and we'll make sure that Bayou looks the part. Yeah, that's all I'm going to say for right now.
Okay, so how are you turning the 3'11" Bayou into a 6 foot for Celestrina?
So getting stilts.
I think that Bayou can be unconscious, which will help a lot, and just kind of be in a heap in a cage covered in filth, filth. It'll be fake filth. I am going to use my subclass feature, which allows me to conjure like a variety of different tools, including disguise kits, and have proficiency with them. And so then I will work together with anyone else who's good at this kind of stuff to disguise Bayou.
Okay,
and
so yeah. I need a let's do 3 checks here.
Okay.
One will be the disguise kit.
Mm-hmm.
One will be a survival check to get an accurate amount of filth into the cage and onto the Celestrina.
Okay.
And
the implication there is there's like an over-filthing option. Like there's a threshold.
You could be too filthy where they try to like brush you off and like make sure it was you.
Yeah.
There needs to be a right amount of filth. So and then the third one will be a kind of like a woodworking check to make sure that the cage is like strong. I guess you could just you could just use one of the cages that are already there.
Yeah, we have cages. We have the like actual
so then
cages.
We'll just do the 2 checks. So I need a survival check for filth and I need a disguise check for veritability.
Who is good at survival?
I'm really good at filth. I've been dirty lots of times.
I would love
lots of times.
I would love for Zinsha to do the filth part, and I am trained in survival, believe it or not. So I will help.
Okay.
Can I help on the disguise kit, because I am also proficient in disguise kits?
Yes, absolutely. You can. I think.
Help action is advantage.
Yes. Yeah.
First roll.
Bayu, are you gonna throw any?
Oh yeah, guidance. Do you have guidance?
Yes, I have guidance. I don't think I have bless right now.
Okay.
I rolled a 4 on the guidance. So that's 20.
Okay, so we have a 20 on filth.
Great. Okay, and then I will
channeling my inner Charlie Kelly.
Sorry.
Tell me about your 20 filth. What does a level 20 filth look like?
Well, when I was first spawned, I was all alone. I didn't have a lot of guidance, and it actually took me almost like a week and a half for someone to inform me that most people bathe, And so I just remember.
I can see that being confusing.
Right. I mean, because I have scales, so it's like they kind of take care of themselves, but apparently the odor, And so I go around and I basically just try to make Bae look like I look, and really I'm fixating on the smell, because I know that, people didn't want to get close to me, and probably we don't want people getting close to you. So I'm like, okay, this is not going to be fun, but I'm going to rub some of this stuff on you. Don't ask what it is.
I thought you said fake dirt. I thought it was fake. I thought we were fake.
No, it's
like dodging around.
It's not a real filth. No, it's not real filth. It's not real filth. Trust me. It's just hold still. Just let me.
It's fake filth, real smell.
And
real
then
fake
our
filth.
disguise
None of the
kit
filth,
for,
all the
for
smell.
stilting up our halfling friend.
After Scarlett's question.
Read stilts. Mine can be you can finish. We'll finish this first.
So I actually don't know how tool checks work. It's tool instead of skill proficiency, right? That's like, so you still use a stat?
Yes. So basically, I would say that do you have proficiency in deception?
Yes.
So it will be you're treating this as a d20 plus dex plus proficiency times 2, because you have deception and the tool.
And it is dex because it's like a disguise thing, not charisma. Yeah. Okay. I'm very bad at that, at dex, but I'm good at deception. Are you trained in deception? I'm sorry, Trev, I forgot your character's real name also.
Arish.
Yes, is Arish trained in deception?
Arish is also trained in deception, but her dex is also bad if we're doing dex versus.
We're both -1, and we're both trained in both things.
Yeah, I'm trained in deception. I have a normally very high deception check, but
that's okay. You know what? That's all right.
That's why we give advantage, right?
All right. Advantage and guidance with a -1.
It's still a +5. Yeah. So. Sorry, I need dice for this.
Wouldn't it be a +6 because you're proficient?
I have -1 dex.
Ah, right.
You have -1 dex too, right?
Yes, I do. You're right. I forgot to do that math.
All right, she needs a detour. Oh, she's.
I found it. I found him. I'm rolling. Thank you for your patience today. I've had a very slow, tired day.
Thank you for your doctor today.
Okay, I rolled a 19. And what does guidance do?
D4.
Okay. So we're adding 5 plus another 4 is out of 3. So 8. So 27 is the total for the disguise.
All right.
Yay.
And then we have the final check, which is Bayu playing convincingly dead. Or convincingly dead? Unconscious?
Unconscious, I think, because...
So then that'll be deception?
That will be
Bayu
deception.
The key to pretending to be unconscious is don't move, okay? don't move. Do you think you can not move?
They lay still for like exactly half a second. And then like,
Does
was
they
that good?
have to be unconscious?
Well, for longer than that, maybe for like a little bit.
Was
more
that
of
good?
the-
Like, on a scale of 1 to 10, how would you rate that?
Well, it's more about doing it for a while. Try doing it for a while.
Like an A, would you say? I'd say it was probably A plus.
So let's
Yeah.
get
Is
a
there-
Bayou
wait, can I just-
deception check
That's
with
gonna
help with the help
be-
action.
I'm
Oh,
sure that
great.
Bayou,
That's good because I rolled bad.
Bayou needs to do a deception check, but I don't know if it has to be for being unconscious.
Hey.
Bayou can just be like laying there, like despondent, you know?
Moaning sadly.
Anything, yeah. If you stir, that's not like a problem. I feel like, you know.
All right.
Okay.
But you're still
for
pretending to be
Celestrina
Celestrina.
impersonator.
What
Yeah,
about
yeah.
what about Molly? Let me pitch this to you.
No.
just
moving
no.
on. So you
What
make
if I'm
your
trying to embody a possum and therefore would like to roll survival?
No.
Oh, that's
checking,
good.
I'm just
That's
checking.
good. That's
Thank you. I
good.
thought so. I thought it was good.
Write that down. Write that down.
Why
Write that
do
down, write
you-
that down.
you already have help.
Celestrina, known
be-
possum.
A 13.
A 15?
13.
Did you add guidance?
Oh, no, I didn't. Oh, no, dice.
You should guide yourself.
Oh, no.
Oh,
It's down. Oh, it's gone forever. Okay, that's so many. Oh, okay, so that's going to be a 17.
yay!
All right.
Hey, guidance.
So
Okay. Yeah, go ahead.
our average here is our median. Wait. Our mode doesn't exist. No modes.
No modes today.
No mode. We're modeless.
Molly said fuck modes.
Our median today is a 22.
Our median. I thought Penny got a 20.
Oh, our median is a 20 and our average is a 22.
Yeah.
No.
I mean, 22 is not quite right either. It's probably like 21.5 or something.
So
Sorry,
22. 22 will be our DC class, our DC for our giants. If they can beat a 22, they will see through the rules that you have made. Oh, what the rules!
So I have questions before we get on the road.
Okay.
First, Molly, question from Scarlett. Hi. Scarlett here. Question.
Hi, Molly here.
So what do we know? This giant is part of the band of giants that we're going to?
Yes.
And they were separated at what point? Like, will they know the plan?
giant-
Do they know the plan?
They know the plan to bring you in to arrest you and bring you so that Kranush can kill you himself. Yes.
But are they going to be part of, like, whatever summoning, unleashing Tolgut's situation is happening? Like, do they know what's happening there?
Globthrock does not know anything about unleashing Tolget, no.
Okay. I am going to let you guys know about the conversation that I had with Admors. So I was, like, hanging out in my tent, and you remember that guy I used to see, Admors?
No, you did not just refer to Hotmores as that guy you used to see.
Is this when you were kind of blanking out there while you were sitting in your tent?
Yeah, I mean, probably. I wasn't conscious, but I bet you that's what you were seeing just then.
Okay.
Yeah, so, like, my old god came and visited me.
My old
and...
god!
You guys remember Admors, right? It was, like, the whole thing.
I don't think I was actually there for that. No, I don't.
You probably don't. Okay, so let me give you the background, and then they'll like go into the whole. And then I was like not sure because it's like, is that morally wrong? And like, can I stand behind a god that's like that? And then like fast forward a little bit. So anyway, after all of that, yeah, he just came to me and he told me that Hirja is trying
Y'all
to
are both
resurrect.
non-binary. You just misgender everybody on this fucking show.
Who else is that?
Bayou is non-binary.
Admors
Admors is non-binary.
Oh, I didn't know that. So yeah, they're like coming to me and basically telling me that Hirja is trying to unleash Tolgith onto the world, and that like Tolgith is going to, I don't know, rain destruction down on all the Udmorsian people and maybe the world in general. It's hard to say. But I just like really struggling to know, like, is this real? Like, should I trust my own instincts in this scenario? Like, what do you guys think?
Well, what I think is, what's the name of this entity? The evil, the one that Tolgith. And Tolgith is that the same like powerful sorceress that I saw in my vision with the?
I don't think so.
No.
Tolgith was a god around when Udmors was still immortal, and then Tolgith like erected this giant dam that cut off all the Udmorsian people from having access to water, and Udmors destroyed the dam, giving the Udmorsian people water, but then also erased any memory of Tolgith from ever existing on the earth and trapped him in like a bauble for like 1,500 years.
And okay. Well, and so here's what I'm gonna say is gods are gods and dragons are dragons, but there's a very real war going on, and like the place that you love and the place that I love and where our homes are and where our people are is getting raised not by a god that has yet to be born, but by a bunch of giants that are trying to raise the god. And I feel like siding with this god can't go well for us ever, because those are the people that they've been trying to kill us this whole time. They've killed lots of people that we know and care about. They've killed innocents,
Right, but that wasn't like Tolgith's doing. He wasn't in the mix yet.
But Cornush
Right.
wants to destroy us. That is a very
That's
real
true. No, like I'm not saying, guys, listen, guys. I'm not saying that we should join up with Hirsha. I'm just saying, like, maybe Tolgith isn't necessarily the bad guy in this scenario, and we should consider hearing him out. That's all I'm saying.
Okay, so what happens when you hear it out and it's like, please let me exist again. I want to be a god. I want to exist and be a god and have worshippers. And then we think about how all of the worshippers are these evil, horrible people that we've been fighting in a war.
What? It doesn't have to be, though, right? Like, there used to be worshippers. What if we got the old worshippers back?
From thousands of years ago?
No, like, those people still exist.
They
Not
do?
like those people, but like their kids and stuff, and you can reignite the passion for
I'm just a 45-day-old uneducated dragon.
Yeah, coming around now, I don't know why I asked you, honestly.
But wouldn't the descendants of those people be Hodmors now, like the city?
Yeah, but like, what if they knew about the history and about Tolgith? Right now they don't know. So like, what if we gave them the choice?
What if we asked the people in Hodmors if they wanted to stay with the god they've worshipped their whole life or switch to a new god that the people besieging their city are trying to resurrect?
Well, the thing is, that's what happened to me.
Bay, I believe that knowledge is power, and it is important to not have that history erased, but you're talking about uprooting a culture that has survived for more than 1,500 years.
No. I'm not trying to force anyone into any scenario. What I'm saying is Odmors has forced the scenario. He's forced everyone's hand by taking the choice away, right? I'm just saying let's give them the choice back. Let's let them know about the truth, about what happened, and give them the option to worship a god that they used to worship.
I think, Bay, we should take this one step at a time. Cornush first, Tolgith after.
Let me say this, and maybe Celestrina wants to come in and say this is a bad idea. If you want to hear the god out, we can hear the god out. We can hear what it has to say. But you have to understand, like, I'm literally a part of a divine being, externalized to serve a purpose for that divine being. And even I don't mess with all of that, like,
Okay, well, that
divine
was kind of like a
conflict
humble
between
brag.
gods. Like,
Listen,
what's a humble
here's
brag?
what I
worry about it.
would like to know. How exactly are you planning on hearing Tolgith out in this situation?
Okay, so that's kind of the rub. Now we've hit on the rub.
Yeah. I don't have any
What's the
problem
snag?
with communicating with, well, okay. I do want to note, I suppose none of you were there for this, but the last time my friends and I had a conversation with a pseudo god creature, it did not go well for some of those involved, okay? In any case, I do stuff like that all the time, and I obviously do fine. I think that if you're careful, it's great to talk to
You hear
powerful
the voice of
entities.
Aaron Craxus
point
in
of
your
order.
ear, like, bitch, come on.
Point of order. Bay, was that also a humble brag?
What?
I do this all the time.
Zinsha is doing the learning thing.
Yeah. Was that also
Oh!
a humble brag when she
Yes.
said I also?
Good
Okay.
identification.
So it's like when there's something really awesome about you and you drop it and you pretend like it's not awesome.
Excuse
Kinda,
me.
yeah.
There is no pretense here. It is awesome of me. Anyways.
Oh, so okay, so no humble. That's just a brag.
So now we've
It's
just
just
veered
a
into
brag.
now we veered
Glad
into
we're on
brags.
the same page.
Okay, well, I'm a fragment of a giant dragon god. I'm amazing. I'm amazing.
There it is. See? Got
I
it.
don't know if I've prefaced this before, but Erish at times is just like jotting all of this stuff down in her journal that she reports back to her organization. So like she's just keeping a catalog of all this wealth of
A
knowledge.
magical psychologist is
these
just like
humble or not so humble, very blatant brags.
So I would say that you will maybe have opportunities to try to commune with Tolgith after this opportunity here. I don't see a way. I can think of exactly one way for you to leverage what is about to happen into an opportunity for you to communicate with Tolgith, and it is by allowing or helping Kranush to do exactly what he is planning to do. And I think that there are other terrible consequences of that are probably more important. And if you'd like to make a project next week about trying to learn more about and communicate with Tolgith and perhaps pursue that, that makes more sense to me as somebody who does have some experience with entities who perhaps have good sides to them, but also you cannot trust.
Yeah. So all I'm saying here is like, let's not just kill Tolgith. If that comes up organically today,
I don't think we can kill a god. I think we can kill the people that have been killing our people.
But Bay, also in the heat of battle, unfortunately, if Kranush succeeds and Tolgith is not able to be reasoned with, I'm not going to stop to negotiate with a mad god.
No, sure.
I'm
not. I just want you to know where I'm coming
our
from.
group, but I understand.
Okay, so yeah. You guys know now the situation, and you know where I stand, and I think we're all cool.
So
can we do a commercial? I want to ask Penny a question.
Absolutely. And I have to go to a BRB for YouTube as well. Give me 1 second. Okay, well,
The scene.
All right, so we're here.
Okay, so before we go, Celestrina pulls Zinsha aside.
I didn't do anything.
Look,
you're not even fighting. I haven't done anything.
Gosh. I'm just trying to. I want to help you out because you. Okay, wait. Sorry, out of character.
Okay.
Would this be more useful to give to Erish now that I'm thinking about it?
Yes.
Doesn't Erish just use like a regular longsword?
Yeah, but I would say give it to Zinsha because I like that idea.
Okay, I'm gonna give it to Zinsha, but then let's just have Zinsha give it to Erish because it's like better that way. Also, I can make multiple. It's like not a big deal. You can both have shock batons. That's like
it's
one
just
of the
a spell slot, right?
Yeah, which is
It's
totally
it's 2d8,
cheesable.
right?
Yeah.
So it's not terrible on Zinsha. The question is just like, am I allowed? Like, does switching weapons cost any action economy?
No, you attack. No. So the way that weapon juggling is an intentional mechanic in D&D 5e 2024. Okay. It's intentional.
So you like, just,
you just have to keep track of what you end your turn on. So when you make reaction attack, you know what you have in your hand.
Okay, but so to be clear, using a two-handed sword like the great sword would preclude me from using an off-handed sword on the same turn?
No.
Really? Because you can just use your second
sword,
attack,
and then your next attack you can do the baton, and then you could do great sword, stow it. If you start with a great sword in your hand, you attack with the great sword, you stow it, you stab with the dagger, and then with your bonus action, or you could even go even further. You could just use the nick property and stab with the baton, and that way you get
the baton is light. Is that correct?
The baton is light.
Yes.
Then it's great. If I can use it in my offhand and go great sword, offhand nick.
You can't nick. No. You'd have to use your bonus action.
One light attack.
Yeah, you have to use a regular.
But I can go bonus action offhand shock baton.
Not if you have to make an attack with a normal attack with a light weapon. So you would have to go great sword, shock baton, bonus action dagger.
Yeah.
But I can with the throwing daggers and stuff. I think it'll be fine on Zinsha, but I do think giving it to Erish makes more sense just because it will take Erish. It will literally double the damage dice that you roll.
Yeah. So. No, let's just have Zinsha be like
wow,
look at
this is so
weapons.
Amazing.
Yeah.
Hey, Erish,
okay, so let's play it. Let's play it.
Let's play
it. Okay. So Celestrina says like, may I see one of your daggers for a moment? I want to try something that I learned from my patron overnight.
Sure. And I grab it and flip it and catch it by the blade and hand it to you by the handle.
So Celestrina takes it and casts a spell, which I will describe because it's homebrew. This is the Build Shock Baton spell, which we are reflavoring to be morphing an existing weapon rather than like building it from scratch because it's gained through the Pact of the Tome invocation, and also because Celestrina's magic is metamorphosis based. So it's going to metamorph this dagger into a shock baton, which is when I use a 3rd level spell slot, a 2d8 light, one-handed, simple melee weapon. And when it hits an enemy, they can't take reactions until the start of their next turn. So that is out of character. So back in character, Celestrina casts the spell. Yeah, it is. Celestrina casts a spell, and the dagger morphs into a basically like a cattle prod or whatever, because that's what you said you wanted to be. But it's a cattle prod, but it's like all of the metal that it would be made out of or plastic is like the same material as her armor, which is the like blue oil slick kind of like almost, it seems like it's always shifting if you look at it in a different light coloring. And so then she hands it back to Zinsha.
And I look at it and I go, cool! And I grab it by the shocking part.
As you grab the shocking, as it shocks you, you see 6 eyes, 4 kind of positioned in lower intervals, and then you see 2 eyes kind of, and they all, in this kind of moment of darkness in your consciousness, you see all 6 of these eyes open up as though they were kind of fanned around a semicircle.
What is that? What is that?
You're not. Okay. Sorry. And Celestrina will flip it around and like hand you base first.
This poke it before I like.
It's just a powerful weapon that can temporarily daze an enemy and make it easier for you to get away unscathed.
And a couple of butterflies flutter up past your face, Zinsha.
Okay. Well, I do hate being scathed. Thank you. Hey, Erish. Hey, Erish.
What?
Do you want a powerful magic item?
looks at the magical item. Is this a joke?
No,
It's
you
not.
this,
It's
please?
very cool.
It's made of hurting. It's made of painful.
You see the dawning on you're handing a cattle prod to the only bovine in the party. He reaches out and she like clasps Zinsha on the shoulder. Yeah, I'll take it. That's fine.
I'm dead. I'm actually dead. I didn't think about that. I love the mental picture of that. Erish standing there, the proud Tauren, and in the other arm is the cattle prod.
Well, also because it's like dagger size, right? So it's Zinsha dagger size. So like having a Zinsha dagger in my
it like grew and reshaped, so the dagger was like wider probably, and so like now it's like probably this big.
Okay.
It's the size of a Zinsha club, which is still a small weapon for an Erish.
Yeah.
But
holding
that's still
this,
very
like,
funny.
tiny little cattle prod. No, it's
yeah, like so an Erish could like look at her longsword and look at the cattle prod and be like, like you can be skeptical.
So it basically just turns your multi-attack into you now get 2 shocking grasps and you can cast shocking grasp using another cantrip, basically.
Sure.
It's just a shocking grasp weapon.
Okay.
That's what it does.
Can you send me the kind of like item breakdown so I can actually put it on my sheet?
I have Molly, are you able to take the item from my character sheet and put it onto Trev's character sheet? Because I made it, but let me just fix it because I set it to be spellcasting modifier, which it is for me, but not for other people when I give it to them. It's just going to be strength. Well, unless, Trev has like a thing that gets around that, which I would not be surprised if that is the case. In spell or something.
Oh yeah, mine spell.
Okay, then yeah, just leave it. You can take it. It's ready to go. It's in my equipment, in my inventory. Cool.
I don't
okay.
see your...
Molly's doing it. Molly's doing it.
Okay, all right. Cool.
So we can move on. Thanks for playing this little scene with me. I
turned the physical comedy into a reason to give it away. I
planned
to grab it by the
No, that all went really well. Like everything came together there pretty nicely, I think.
All right, so you have shock baton copy.
Yay!
In your inventory now, Erish.
Danke.
I didn't have the
Bitta?
Anyway.
Good.
Bitta is correct. Yeah.
Yes, Bitta is correct.
Hey, for someone who might have to be a refugee in Germany, I feel pretty good about that. Anyways, Dungeons and Dragons.
Now we can move on. I do want to tell everybody that they have aid and sense danger.
Sense danger.
I took my prep, so I don't. Okay.
So it's you add proficiency, or you add proficiency to, or no, I think it's just +3 to initiative and can't be surprised, and +5 max HP.
Okay, so after a number of shenanigans in the morning, some weapons being made, some aids being cast, and some dangers being sensed, the party strikes out. Just about 5.5 hours remaining on the enchantment. You're headed out about mid-morning. You arrive to the first thing that you see is you're kind of going back and forth. Sorry. How is Zinsha traveling, doing this?
Zinsha is also in a cage.
Zinsha's also in a cage.
Just like Zinsha was on the way in.
Just the same? You're going to tie my hands together?
Zinsha, we can tie your hands together in a
Is
way
Zinsha
that
like
looks
that? I mean,
secure,
I don't know.
but that can come apart at any time.
Okay. They is laughing maniacally as they grab like handfuls of the mud concoction.
All right. All right. Give me a deception check, Zinsha.
Uh-oh.
Well, Zinsha isn't pretending to not be Zinsha. Like, to be fair, like that is how we Zinsha just was in a cage.
But
would have been there.
I'm pretending to be bound though, right?
You're pretending to be caught.
Well,
like you're a prisoner.
Let's see how I do.
Yeah.
I got a 14.
I will help
That's
you.
Guidance and
Guidance and help.
Guidance and
Because
help.
we're all doing this together, so.
Whoop. Where's my D4? 15.
all together now. All together now.
No Beatles.
Yay.
Okay.
Oh wait, we can't afford it. That's right.
Yeah.
Did the
Not
Beatles do
advisable.
another problematic?
Oh, I just don't like them.
Oh, it's okay to have bad takes.
It's okay. I don't really care for the Beatles either that much. So.
Wow, this
I like Paul
podcast-
McCartney. I like Paul McCartney's solo career a lot more than I like the Beatles.
All
John
right,
Lennon, fuck him.
So our DC is down to 20
George
flat.
Harrison.
Oh yeah, My Sweet Laura is a good song.
Oh,
All right,
oh.
I'll stand up for Ringo. You want to know what?
Oh, we
he
love
might not have
Octopus's Garden
actually
is the
played
tits.
drums on any of the final albums that the Beatles are really famous for because he wasn't very good at it, but he could look nonchalant while playing that one thing he knows how to play with the best of them. With the best of them.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm not gonna deny like the Beatles, like effect on culture and like music and all that. Like that's definitely notable, and all of the individual contributing artists to that. But like I just don't like their sound that much, if I'm being honest.
I'm going to make this dungeon, I'm going to completely rewrite it during the break, and it's now going to be Yellow Submarine themed.
Okay, I'm so happy for
Wait, we
you
already
for-
did one of those.
The animated movie.
We did
'Cause it's
Yellow
great.
Submarine.
We did a desert like ship that
We were
could go
kind
on.
of on
like,
a submarine.
Oh, okay. Yeah.
You know,
kind of.
it
I see what
had
you're
submarine
talking about.
vibes.
It had
I see that.
submarine vibes.
Yeah.
It did.
I think it did. Yeah.
So
I see that.
the first thing that you will make out as you make your way through the jungle, and you kind of, as Globthrock is guiding you down these twisting roads here, you'll be able to see these thick junk. Jeez, I just get caught up on thick. You know, I just start thinking about peanut butter and Megan the Stallion, and I get distracted for some reason. What?
What, Penny? What's wrong?
Penny, you have a reaction to that?
You tell me, Molly. How valuable is this time to you?
Yikes. Okay. I'm getting roasted here. All right.
By the way, as we go, just like we have had conversations, like we had one day of travel, so like we have discussed with the giant, with Bill, like we all have our stories straight as far as why the cultists joined up with the giants who are carrying like where did Ted go? We have all made a decision about, like, we don't have to play all of that in advance, but like we can just, like, I'm telling you that we have asked the giant everything we need to know why it would make sense for the cultists to be there and for Ted to not be there, and for only 2 of the 4 prisoners to be there, and etc.
Sure. All right. So, this is going to come down to, you will make your way. You will make your way through you'll make your way to the encampment. You'll pass your way through a kind of wooden palisade. They'll sit there and ask you the questions, and you'll give your answers here. As you're kind of being held up to scrutiny, they are going to kind of like look over your caravan, look you all over, and see if they get spooked. So I'm rolling.
They're gonna look us all over, and then they're gonna go, "That one's thick."
Don't forget the
I
stank.
want to
I need
value
a stank
Penny's
roll.
time. I'm not going to talk about being thick anymore. They're very
What about
angry.
my time, though, Molly? What
that
about
I'm
my
I
talking
am
time?
not
about-
very angry.
They're
Don't you put
mildly
that on me.
irate.
I've never even been to Glasgow. Okay.
Oh my god.
It's funny because that's in Scotland. Okay. Irate, and irate.
Not
is kind of-
Ireland.
I'm gonna blow
Irish
right
in
through this.
Scotland, and okay. It was like a 4.
I get it. I got it. It took a second.
Talk
I got
about
it.
time management, am I right?
I'm killing it. I want to be a producer. So we have a
Wait, we're loopy today.
12
We're
and
back.
a 19 on the die as the giants kind of look over your caravan and they're like, "Yep, checks out," and they send you forward. You make your way through the camp and you see kind of suspended in this central ritual, in this central kind of like climbing up in front of you is this tremendous rock face that probably goes 200 or 300 feet into the sky, kind of the site of where the former dam used to be. And as you do that, as you're looking up, your eye traces down through all the lichen and everything that kind of grows on this very wet rock and this thickly in this densely forested jungle. And your eyes fall onto this ritual platform that seems to be hovering, lifted on a disc, as three ritualists stand around it, humming an incantation. These giants with moonstones inset in odd places around their skulls, as they chant and they hum, and the portal hums to life. You can feel the same feeling that you got when you skimmed that book of memory magic, Celestrina. You get off of the portal.
What can you remind me briefly of what the feeling was and when that happened?
It's just kind of like you understand that they are using some kind of memory magic to get into this space.
The portal that is got it. Okay.
Yep.
The portal. This is the portal we're trying to go through into the
Yep.
like. Yeah. Okay. Cool.
Yep.
Cool.
So that your Globthrock will walk you right up to the ramp and will bring the cages and put them through. Probably first up will be fake Celestrina. As you get kind of wrenched up and put through the portal, Bayou, you are the first one to see. You're kind of disembodied, and you see a Gerbine man walking down a kind of muddy road. Who's up next? Who goes through next? Probably Zinsha. Zinsha gets hooked into the memory portal, and you also see. You're kind of beside Bayou, and you also see this Gerbine man walking with a handful of blue and purple water orchids.
What is a Gerbine?
A Gerbine is Adora. You want to hit this one?
A Gerbine is like a little kangaroo mouse person.
Oh, like Wig?
Like Wig.
Have I seen one before?
Zinsha? No.
Am I gagged?
No, you just are kind of here.
Okay, I mean, the moment I see something new, I'm like, what are you? Can you talk? Are you like a person or like an animal?
Next person to walk through will be?
Must be an animal.
Celestrina will go next.
Who will?
I will.
All right. Unnamed cultist 3 will walk through. Hey, Georgina! Get in there, Georgina! Come on! And you make your way through, and you see also this Gerbine is carrying a pack of like goods of a pack that's way too large for what this Gerbine is carrying, as though they would haul it around to different cities to peddle things, but they have just cleared out inventory. And then finally, Mintha.
Yep.
All right, you make your way through. And all 4 of you are now walking down this muddy swamp road through the kind of backwoods of a area you don't recognize very much.
So we're in like a weird place, is what you're saying. Like we're not like physically there. Like the cages are gone. We're like disembodied and experiencing some kind of vision.
You're experiencing some kind of vision.
Great.
And that is where we will go on to break, and we will come back in about 10 minutes. We'll see you at 9:05 p.m.
Yay.
Friends, we are back. So after you have passed through this hovering portal in the center of this giant and cultist camp, moonstones aplenty and set near every jaw in the town, you see a Gerbine. Signs of wear show across his sagging whiskers, and his stride is short and slow. His eyes seem to glimmer as though he's close to his destination. He comes up to a small house on the edge of a small village and produces a bundle of purple and blue hyacinths from his satchel. He places them horizontally at the doorstep. Kneeling, he faces the door. In a show of tradition and faith, he completes the ritual by clapping his hands twice. So as you follow the Gerbine along, anything you're trying to do?
Looking around, what's going on? Do we have any ideas of what the vision could be, etc.?
So as you're looking around, kind of the things that you're seeing in the area are, this is clearly like, it's clearly a swamp. There are kind of low-hanging trees, thick clumps of vegetation, and the Gerbine seems to kind of be, the path seems to be kind of hopping from mound of earth to mound of earth. You will see the house is kind of twisted out of a series of different swamp trees that have kind of all been made to grow together, and then it's kind of sealed with a thatched grass roof. Other things you're seeing, it's getting towards the end of the night. It's getting to be later in the evening, so the sun seems to be setting. And the way that the sun is setting is very familiar to Bayou. It's not too far off from maybe where Bayou grew up.
And so he's stopping at every door and doing this little ritual, or he stopped at a specific door and did this little
This
ritual?
specific door and done the little ritual.
Okay, is there like a window that we can peek into?
Is there anything that we know from like talking with Bill or Globthrock? Is there anything that we know from talking with Globthrock that would indicate why this is happening? Is this a surprise to us, etc.?
This is not a surprise to you. They are like you walked through a portal filled with memory magic, and that you're being thrust into someone's memory kind of makes sense. It is weird that you like your binds are undone and you're not in seems to be what your corporeal form is, but hey, magic be magicking. As you lean in through one of the windows, you kind of take a peek through you take a peek in, and you will see a modestly appointed home and a femme-looking Gerbine, kind of like quickly setting something down on a short metal stove and rushing over to the door. And as she does, she swings open the door and she says, "Ah, you silly man! What are you doing in the dirt?" And the haggard Gerbine looks up, and you see confusion painted across his face. The genuine bewilderment of his devout wife. Wait, sorry, my brain just skipped a whole bunch of lines. Confusion painted across his face. The genuine bewilderment of his previously devout wife, now accosting him for performing a greeting ritual that this wandering merchant has performed hundreds of times throughout his life, leaves this Gerbine feeling uneasy. Something is wrong. And the wife seems to step right onto the flowers that he had laid at the doorstep, and is like reaching down to pull him up and like brushes, "Oh, what are you doing?" and like starts to bring him inside the house.
Are we?
You can tell this person feels disquieted.
Are we like there?
Well, more to the point, do they notice us? Do
They
we have
don't
any?
seem to notice you, no.
Are
Okay.
we?
So, oh, go ahead.
Well, what is that like? What's the nature of my body, right? If I'm like trying to ask like, what manner of place is this? Can I move my hands? Can I see and breathe and smell things?
You see, you breathe, you smell, your senses are intact. It seems as though it's a disembodied consciousness is moving through this memory world at this moment.
So are we kind of, as the viewing party of this memory, are we kind of, is it like we are immersed in a movie, essentially like watching it from a certain perspective, like a third point perspective, and we're kind of moving around with this Gerbine, or are we free to move around this memory however we
up to
please?
this point, you were following it around as though it was a movie. Now you are open to explore the area, and I will put you on the map.
Are we able to, like, if I try and speak, does anything happen?
You speak. The rest of the party can hear you. The Gerbines do not seem to be able to.
Perfect. Okay, cool. But I can't see the rest of the party, but I can hear them if they talk.
You can sense that they're there.
Okay, I can sense that they're there. It's just that we're all invisible and disembodied
at this moment.
Great.
Oh, I got rotated somehow.
Is Josephine here?
I have a question.
Yep. You'll see your Josephine owl is on the map with you that you can control.
I saw that. Ooh, very nice.
Now I can't select my character.
They
all move together?
Has studied. I have a question, Molly. Let me know.
Go ahead.
Okay. Bay has studied, like, grown up in this area. You said the terrain looks familiar, like this is close to where I grew up, or close-ish?
No, the location of the sun, you think it's not too far from the lands of Hadmurs, in like the way that the sun hangs in the sky.
Okay, gotcha. So I'm pretty familiar, I would guess, with most of the like religious practices in the surrounding areas as well, obviously as all the Admursian ones.
Yep.
Do I recognize the ritual that he was performing?
You don't.
Okay. Can I get any context clues about the time period from like their clothing or the appointments inside the house?
How long ago was this memory? You're kind of like looking around. You can make a history check.
Okay. Oh, we have to have dice in this game?
I know, I'm sorry. This is actually we're actually gonna become a table LARP game. It will be mandatory cosplay.
I mean, I'm not here for that. Okay, that's gonna be 16.
So with a 16, you like this is you catch a piece of a dagger, like a metal blade that is hanging off the Gerbine's hip. And it is something that it looks very similar to like artifacts that you might have seen in kind of like history museums around Hadmors. And it does seem to be from around the time of the dam breaker's life.
Okay. I sense my peoples around me.
Yeah.
I'm going to I think they genuinely gasps and just mutters under their breath, like, I think this was the day.
The day?
And we hear this, but we don't see them?
I think you guys
Let's say that you can see each other like illusions.
Okay.
For ease sake. You are see-through and translucent, but you can see each other.
The day?
The day,
I'm asking Bay.
The day that Tolgith was erased.
But then
so this is how they're planning to revive him.
who are these people?
I think
Perhaps
they were Tolga's followers.
Perhaps they needed some sort of anchor, and it drew them to these people.
I'm gonna stay close to the people and try to like keep an eye out if anything happens or if anything changes with them.
Sure. So the merchant that you had just followed in will spend some time. We'll walk around the house. We'll look at. It even controls my movement, which is really annoying. We'll look at we'll grab a book. We'll look at the books on the bookshelf, and we'll kind of like go along here. We'll walk out and grab the flowers from the steps and try to like break off the bottom where she had stepped, and we'll throw away the stems.
And it was like obvious that he was surprised that she would defile this like religious.
That she would step on the flowers, yeah.
Like that. Yeah. Okay.
Yep.
What about the books? Like, we can't interact with them to read them or anything, right?
You can try.
Yeah, I would like to look at some of the books. Maybe there's a religious text or something.
Sure. So as you're kind of going through, you're kind of like able to peel like your body becomes just corporeal enough to interact with the objects in this space. And you start to open I guess you're just sitting there looking at the book, so you don't have to make a roll for it. There are a few different books. There is one that is named The Water's Epitaph. There is one that is that seems to have a blank spine. And there are a collection of different folk stories and myths.
So why does he still remember? Faye is gonna say this out loud.
Right. You're saying this is the day that it happened after Admur's memory magic kicked in, and that's why this, and she picks up the blank spine, is blank, and she doesn't remember. So
He does.
why does he? Well, I'm
gonna try and interact. Faye's gonna try and interact. Oh yeah, no, go ahead.
I want to just investigate my surroundings and try to look for like reality inconsistencies, like evidence that this has been tampered with somehow, evidence that this is not a memory but a facsimile, something that doesn't like if it was a video game.
Make an investigation check.
That is only gonna be a 10.
For a 10, you will you'll spend a bunch of time kind of studying the way that the water is dripping, because you're like, this is something that might be difficult to remember accurately or might behave inconsistently if people are not really thinking about it. And you kind of you dig through that, and you notice that the way that the firelight catches the dust is strange and seems to be behaving strangely.
Do I have like a copy of the memory book with me, or like yes. Do I have the original? And maybe
Erish
I can
try something real quick.
Go for it.
Yeah, go ahead, Erish.
Okay. I think looking around and knowing what Erish knows and what the group knows, Erish is just going to yell out as loud as possible, Kranoosh! Tolgith! And see if there is any response.
What are you doing?
You yell Kranoosh as loud as you can. Nothing seems to happen. And you yell Tolgith as loud as you can, and you see a small frog will hop up onto the front step, and you hear loud croaking in the house.
Okay.
Oh, that's Tolgith, right? Because well, out of character, I don't know if I would have known the detail, but I remember Hadmor is called Tolgith a frog, a croaker or something.
Tolgith is a frog.
And it would make sense that it's small because it's like a god that needs resurrection. It's like not there aren't worshippers, so it would be a small frog.
Well, but Tolgith was not a frog, right? Tolgith was a frog person?
Yes.
And this is a frog, like an animal.
You have seen in visions, you have seen the frog representing Tolgith for a couple times throughout the season.
And that's what this is?
Good job, Trev. Good call.
So you're saying that so this looks like the depictions of Tolgith in the like art and stuff.
Yeah.
Looks like this little frog. And how big is it?
Something like it. It's
a normal.
Okay. It's a toad size.
Toad size. Cool.
I'm gonna try to get it to hop up onto my hands.
It kind of tilts its head curiously. It seems to be the only thing that perceives you here.
Come on.
Faye is going.
Can I talk to you? You can hop up. Hop up. Hop up.
It just looks at you.
All right. Well, fuck it.
No, Bay should probably do this.
Faye is going to pull out their little like reliquary whatever of water and put some water on their hands and make like a little frog pool. And then look at the frog and say, I was a follower of Admor's, but I'd like to know the truth.
And you will see, and the frog will kind of the water is holy water of Admor's, right? So it's not interested in the water whatsoever.
Isn't it just well, okay, I guess I didn't think about that. I thought it was just, since I'm no longer strictly following Admor's.
It's mixed. The holy water, it's not super interested in. What it will do is it will hop up and it will kind of it will acknowledge you with its gaze. It sees that you're there and it sees who you are, and it will hop up and it will start to follow around the male Gerbine, who will look for who is currently in the kitchen, looking for something, and it will hop and it will kind of watch the Gerbine go around.
So maybe we'll go and watch also in case something interesting happens. In the meantime, I was thinking I would ask Bay, I assume, is the one who will be best at this. Perhaps it is Erish, but somebody to help me look at the book and study it to see if we can figure out how they're planning to resurrect Tolgith using this, where are we, and kind of, is there any hints in here as to the mechanics of what is going on?
Okay. Make an Arcana check.
Okay.
Let me see if an Arcana and if I can help with that. Yeah, I can help you with that.
I could yeah, I can help. I'll say I'll help as well, but it's all part of the same help action, right?
Sure.
We're all
you two could do it without me. I'm not good at Arcana. Maybe maybe one of you should roll and the other should help, and I'll just provide the material.
I have +4, Erish. What's your Arcana?
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. You roll.
+4.
It.
+4. Okay. Here, you roll and I'll help you.
Sure. So take advantage on that. That's a natural 20 for a 24.
Ooh! We love to see it.
Okay. So, where are you in the process? What you are being shown is, is sort of like a memnomantic proving ground. This is, you are in the memories of the dead god of Tolgith, and Tolgith is showing you an impactful point in the faith. Access to the rest of the area may be conditioned and may make things more difficult or more hard, depending on what you figure out about these areas. You're looking to gain the kind of objective for this is you're looking for other things that are inconsistent about this house. That this Gerbine is, while this Gerbine is exhausted and disoriented, to try to alert him or to try to just kind of figure out what were the holy symbols of the past religion that are not there or have been tampered with.
Cool. So maybe I can take the book and put it like right in front of, on the table, like right before he looks there, or something like that, given that knowledge, and see if that he notices it.
Yep. And so he'll look at it and he'll pop it open, and all that is left on its pages are an inscription from his parents. We love you, son.
Okay, I'm writing. I'm starting to take notes here. Like I got the hyacinths.
What's the status of the Frogie? Is it just
the Frogie is sort of there's a cat curled up and sleeping by the fireplace, in a lounge chair, and it has sort of like positioned itself like cuddled up with the cat at this point.
This is not important, but I do have to ask it. How big is the cat relative to the Gerbines?
Yeah, I was gonna ask that too.
So the cat is like a foot tall max, and the Gerbines are like 3 or 4 feet tall.
Okay. So
the Gerbines are a little bit shorter than that. I think they're like more like 1 to 3 feet. Like they're like little. They're Gerbines. It's your world. You can decide.
I'm gonna say they're halfling size.
Okay, great.
Question: are these based off of the Gerbine from the Humblewood setting?
They are.
Okay, so they're what, considered like a small creature, small size?
Small size creature.
Okay.
What about the house? Like, are we like, do we fit inside comfortably? Do we get scaled down?
Celestrina would be a rough fit at full size. You seem to move through it comfortably.
I do move through it comfortably, but it's just magic or whatever.
If the frog is sort of curled up, I want to try to sneak up on it and grab it, because I don't actually think it's a good idea pinning, but Zinsha is like, I mean, what else are you supposed to do?
We're definitely going to like communicate to Zinsha what we learned from the book. Which is that like Tolgith is testing us, and like we need to learn information as much as we can using hints from Tolgith probably, and like notice inconsistencies and help the Gerbine notice inconsistencies.
And I'm gonna do the mark on the staircase nod from Invincible. As I'm sneaking up on the frog. You gotta stop me or I'm gonna do it.
Bae, do you think that stopping Zinsha would be a good idea?
I'm gonna be honest. My plan was for Bae's following the little mouse guy around. So you guys are.
All right. I mean, there's like an 80% chance that I just phase through the frog. Do I have to roll for this, Molly?
You're trying to sneak up on someone in its own memory?
I'm trying to sneak up on the frog and grab it.
You, as it sees you, like crouch like you're in Skyrim. You crouch down. It hops. You hear it ribbit in acknowledgement, like a loud croak, and you can tell that it is aware of your position.
Okay, then maybe sleight of hand to grab it anyway.
As you
look really disappointed and go darn, and then go for it.
Yeah, make a sleight of hand check.
What is my sleight of hand? Probably not too good. +2. Let's see. What do we got here? I rolled a 6.
Yeah, it quietly, like, the cat wakes up and pushes your illusory hand out of the way.
Oh.
Am I able to like make myself corporeal enough to pet the cat?
Yes.
Okay, I'm gonna get started on that.
Cool.
I am gonna follow the little mouse man.
All right. So Bayou, as you go into the kitchen with the Jerbean, as he has the flowers and he's sort of like looking at them, trying to figure out what the hell to do, make an investigation check.
Can I try something first?
Sure.
I'd like to cast light on the flowers.
Okay, as you do so, this brilliant globule of light erupts around the flowers. It doesn't seem to interrupt what the Jerbean is doing, however.
He doesn't notice.
No.
Okay. Okay, make an investigation, you said?
Yep.
All right. Ooh, not great. That's gonna be an 8.
Not great, it's an 8. Not great, it's an 8. All right, I'm just moving you to the right room.
Okay.
So, you're in here. Again, you... With an 8, yeah, you just kind of... It is a very box standard ancient kitchen.
Mm-hmm.
Yep.
Can I cast guidance on myself?
It's not. Yeah.
It's not gonna
sure.
do it. We'll at least try. Okay. That's gonna be. Oh, I rolled a 4 at least. 12?
You notice there's a fine layer of dust over a stand that had on the shelves beneath it seems to be holding dried beans and a collection of gourds.
Okay, I'm gonna write Tolga's name in the dust.
As you are looking at the dust, you come across as you're kind of like going through TH, and the O is already there for you.
Interesting.
Oh. There was something resting there.
Like a vase kind of situation, or like what do you mean? There's something resting.
Yeah,
like that. It's like the imprint
that. Yeah,
of
like a cup
okay.
or a vase or something.
I'm gonna look and see if there's something that could have made that shape in my vicinity.
You make another investigation check.
Okay, we did better this time. 13.
Yeah, you don't see any. You scan your
Can I
surroundings
still have
pretty
guidance?
deeply. Do you
It's the
finish the
same
word
skill.
Tolgith in the dust? Or do you go like TH and then you see, oh, the O is there?
I would probably glance around if I didn't immediately see something that would be that shape, then I would finish it. But if it's like I immediately saw the thing, I would probably get distracted by it.
As you return back to the dust and you try to draw the L in the dust, your hand bumps into something that's invisible.
Oh, I wonder what it could be.
You guys, I found a thing.
Oh, just 1 second. This is important. I'll be there in a minute.
I'm gonna pick it up and try and
You
figure
are
out what it
holding
is.
it has the sensation of a cool, almost metallic feel.
And what were the circumstances that you found this under? After I finished petting the cat a little bit more as a treat.
Gonna pick it up and try and throw it on the ground, and then as I say, I found it over there on the table.
You throw it on the ground?
Yeah, I want to see if it makes a sound.
It does for you. It shatters.
Oh,
Shatters, and the guy doesn't hear anything?
No.
Oh, good. Well, good. I think I have bending. I thought it was metal.
Celestrin is pretty taken aback by the situation. Like, asks you a question.
Would your understand? So I'm sorry, I was trying to describe crystal feeling, like in the cold that it wicks
Would I
your
have been
heat
able
away
to
from your
tell?
finger pads.
Okay, I'm sorry. I'm Scarlet me misunderstood. Would Bay have been able to tell that it was like ceramic
Yeah.
or okay, I would not have thrown it. I'm sorry. I thought it was metal.
Yeah.
Okay. So,
You could hand it to me.
yeah, well, I was trying to see if I could get the guy to, yeah, I'll hand it to you if you reach out for it.
And so do you tell Celestina what happened with the O?
Yeah, I was like trying to write Tolga's name on the table in the dust to see if I could get the guy to see the dust, and then I could only get so far, and also the O was already there, and it was made from this. And then I handed it to you.
So perhaps this is a religious figure of some kind?
It must be like what doing a feel up. What did you say? It was just like a vessel, Molly?
It's a vase.
It's a vase. Okay.
Erish walks over and looking at everything, she asks Celestrina if, may I see it?
And Celestina will hand it over.
Erish attempts to put it on the spot where the O was.
It sits there.
Does it do anything? No, it just sits. Okay. Good.
Could you cast light on this and see if anything happens?
Nothing. He didn't notice when I cast light on the flowers.
But
I'll
it might
try.
help
I mean, it's a
us
cantrip.
understand what it is.
Yeah, I'll cast light on it.
You cast light inside of this, and you get the idea. It shows you that it is a vase, and something is keeping the Gerbeans from being able to witness it.
Okay. So vases are something of religious significance.
I'm gonna take the vase with me.
Wait.
Okay.
Wait. I have an idea.
Okay.
What goes in vases?
Fish.
Bayou runs out into the swamp and starts fishing.
Flowers?
Admorsians. Exactly.
Water.
Flowers. Water, yes, and flowers.
Okay.
Both things.
What
What happens if we try to take the hyacinths and place them in here?
Is the guy still holding them?
He will have set them down on the kitchen counter, and he will have kind of chopped the stems so that the broken bit is no longer dangling off the bottom. They're a little bit short, but otherwise they're sitting there.
Trina, you're a genius.
What's going on at this table that the woman is at?
She is she's let's see, what is she up to? She is sitting there writing correspondence, and you'll see her talking to her husband, saying, "Oh, well, you should have heard that the Jinglesmith family was just down the road, and they were at the town hall the other day. And did you know what the mayor said?" And the mayor said, and it kind of blends into Simlish, kind of catching this guy up on the months of activity, social activity since last he was here.
And she's writing. Is it in a language that I recognize?
It is enough like common that it seems familiar, but the grammar and the structure of the words is different enough that it is fairly aged.
Okay. Well, if I can recognize it, kind of. What's she writing? Like, is it
stuff that Molly just said?
Well, she's writing the stuff she's talking. She's just talking about it.
She's not. No, she's just sitting in the chair. She's got the quill out. She has the parchments out. What does she have written on the parchment?
Like nothing.
Nothing of circumstance. It might be correspondence for another town. She might have some governmental responsibility in the local area, and so she'll it'll be like town council related stuff, like oh, there's garbage over on track 47 and blah 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 blah. Kind of a bunch of mundanity scribbled in there.
Okay. So
as you're trying to study the room, Zinsha, you can make a perception check for me.
perception. My perception is bad. Well, it's not bad. Oh, well, I rolled a 19, so +1 is 20.
You only got +1. Huh.
Well, remember, I didn't do. I'm not doing Wisdom Ranger. I'm doing.
Right.
Honestly,
Ranger.
not great. but hey, you live, you learn, you live some more.
Super cool.
The strongest
So what
thing
does
I
great
do is attack
mean?
twice per turn.
Yeah, but you have a zip line.
You do have a zip line.
I do have a zip line, yeah.
And so you will notice a the man Gerbine is staring up at the wall, and in the kind of like in the kind of crowd in the mold in the what's it molding but up.
Molding.
Molding? Yeah, that's molding.
It's just molding, yeah.
Okay.
Or the trim.
In the trim, yeah, sure. In the trim up top, you see the kind of the faded shape of a lotus, and the man is sitting there as though it like something had been removed from the space, and the man is sitting there like looking at this space, like trying to figure out what the hell is going on.
Wasn't there lotuses at the last Tolgith place we went to?
Yeah.
So it's
Yeah,
like the
there were.
absence of a lotus pattern, and he's looking up and he's trying to figure out what's going on with his ceiling.
He's looking up at a position. You're not sure if he can see what's there or if only you can see it, but he's clearly disquieted by the way that the wall is currently, or the way that molding is.
What happens
Because it's like
if
perfectly
we...
from where he would sit in his bed and read, and he's looking up and he's just like, what the hell?
Did anything happen with the flowers and the vase thing?
You want to try to interact with the flowers and put them into the vase?
Yeah.
Yeah.
What happened with that?
So you are able to do so, and as this happens, the kind of the vase materializes in its illusory form in front of you, and it kind of takes the shape, and you see this kind of beautifully painted in blues and greens that seem to wrap around like ivy around a building or around a pillar, climbing up this vase, and the hyacinths sit beautifully and seem to twinkle, and you hear the frog ribbiting in the distance as you do that.
Yeah, I also think this is riveting.
Nice.
Hey.
Thank you.
Have we tried to touch the guy?
Try to touch the Gerbine?
Yeah.
Yes.
What happened? We like
Nothing.
phased through him?
Yeah.
Okay. I want... So it like clicked into place, the vase.
More or less.
In the world. In the correct world spot.
Yes.
I think there's something wrong with this ceiling, but I don't know what it is. Is anyone here smart?
Well, you know it's not Salestrina. But
and he goes, I'm smart.
Can
I'm over to look.
yeah.
Erish?
I was gonna say, can Erish also just try to perceive or figure this out? Look at it.
Yeah, like Zinsha will look up at this. Will kind of like point up at this spot on the wall, and there is kind of like an outline where the wood is less faded of a symbol of a lotus.
He's just gonna start feeling around the walls.
I was about to say, can Erish, like, is this only in one spot, or is it like if she starts to look around more, can she see where there might be more in other rooms, or like is it like very clearly it's just
It seems
single
to be a spot
lotus.
of significance. Yeah.
And it's above this Gerbine's bed?
It is like looking as you were like sitting up in bed and you'd look out. It's like directly in your. It's like in the ceiling in your eye line.
Can Erish try to reach out and like grab in that space and see if there's anything there, kind of invisible like the vase was?
Yeah, so you'll reach up and you'll touch and you'll feel kind of like the cool gemstone feel. You feel some heft and you feel the kind of heat leaving your finger pads.
Okay, Erish is gonna grab it.
All right, you grab it down.
I hand it to Bay.
I assume to do another light.
Or to just be like look like.
It gave us the shape last time.
I don't.
Bay is gonna look down at the thing and then look up at Erish and then look at the spot on the wall where it's supposed to hang and hand it back to you.
Erish puts it back because I assumed that I put it. That's where it was.
Oh, did it come
So we
off
don't
of
know.
the wall?
Yeah, it came off the wall, right? We don't know where this goes. I'm assuming yet, right?
It was the place where the pattern is faded, Molly? It was
Yeah.
hanging in front of that? Oh. Oh, okay.
Do we remember anything from the Tolgith dungeon? Like, because there were lotuses. Tolgith was depicted sitting on a lotus, right?
Yep.
So, okay, in character, like, should we offer this to Tolgith as a bed or something? Maybe then
or like where you had that.
with us?
Yeah.
All
Sure.
right.
They'll walk over with a little thing and be like, "What?"
And much unlike the offering of holy water, the frog seems enchanted by this.
Okay,
And
Yay!
will kind of step forward onto the illusory lotus.
Does it reappear?
It does. It manifests quickly, and you see as the frog steps onto it, the masked Gerbine starts to head off in kind of like says, "I'm sorry, honey. I have to go into town real quick to see something. I'm sorry. I'll be right back. I know I haven't seen you in a long time, but I just need to do something real quick." And she looks at him and she's like, "Are you okay?" And the man Gerbine starts making his way out of the building again, and the Tolgith, the frog, starts to hop off along with the man.
Yay! We did it.
Erish wants to follow, but looking through all this, is Erish able to perceive any name of this family or of the male Gerbine? Just to like.
There's an inscription to him.
Yeah, like what?
It
what
just says, "We love you, son." That you haven't been able
Aww.
to grab a name yet.
Okay.
But is it signed by the parents?
Just has that inscription, "We love you, son."
I guess we know it's from the parents because it says son. Clever, Molly, clever.
I mean, I will say, like, no matter who it's from, it would be, unless depending on your relationship with your parents, where they would say, "We love you" by your name instead of just using a more specific honorific, I guess. I don't know.
Yeah, it makes sense. It makes sense. It's cool. Why don't Erish? Why don't you come up with a name for him until further notice, so that we don't have to keep saying the man Gerbine?
Let's call him Bean, because he's like Gerbine, and he's a little guy, like a little bean.
Oh,
is the
sure,
best
Bean.
name.
Otherwise, I was gonna say Phil for some reason, but
that's
yeah,
good
Bean
too.
works. I like Bean.
Philly Bean?
Philly Bean. Yeah, let's follow
Mr. Bean.
We follow
Rowan.
Philly Bean.
We'll call him
We follow
Rowan.
Mr. Philly Bean.
Miss Rowan Atkinson. Anyway, no. Let's follow this. Let's follow
Bean.
This
Bean.
gentleman.
Yeah, this guy.
Yeah.
So,
Okay.
kind of diving into the night, the Gerbine is hopping along from clump to clump on this kind of thoroughly trodden swamp road, and makes his way into the center of the settlement of this small town. You see the Gerbine man walk into a market. that is kind of closing up, and he starts asking around for someone for a vendor, and the vendor eventually like shows up. They walk down to a mead hall, and the vendor comes out and is like, and the Jerbean man, the Bean, Mr. Bean, starts chatting with this other person who seems to have perfect recollection of them. They're talking about stories, all this stuff, and then the Mr. Bean will ask like, "What is going on? Why is my wife ignoring all the holy rituals?" And the other man will look at him and say, "What are you talking about?" And the Jerbean will grab the man and walk him to the nearest temple, and will like point at it, and will say, the temple, the religion, don't you remember?" And the man will stand there in kind of like a blank and be like, "What? That's the Temple to Ardmores. What do you mean? It's the same as it's always been." And you'll see the kind of Jerbean at the end of this night will kind of like wander around the town square, like, why the hell, like trying to like find someone who knows what's going on. And nobody seems to be able to give him any real pointers on what the hell is going on. And he kind of retires to his house exhausted after a few hours. As you make your way home, as you follow him back to his house, you see the kind of broken shatters, the shattered glass is kind of scattered across one part of the road back to his house, as though there was some threat that had been made out of this glass that had been dispelled. You see 1,000 shreds of paper disseminated across another scrap of road, as though you had vanquished a papery foe without knowledge of it. And you also see this kind of in the distance, you see this kind of very slow moving swamp beast moving out of frame in the darkness.
I immediately start chasing it.
Okay, cool.
Okay.
Towards what end? What are you trying to do?
Get a closer look at it.
Okay. How close do you want to get?
I'm feeling pretty safe because I'm sort of incorporeal, and last I checked, I had my hands bound and I was in a cage and stuff. So, pretty close, like close. Like I'm not particularly afraid of it.
So as you get to about 200 feet out, you're kind of running your full sprint. You step on a branch, and it seems to twist its head, or it seems to twist its body in response to that noise. Do you continue on?
Yeah, get closer.
Okay. As you start to get closer, at about 60 feet, at about 100 feet out, it will turn around and look at you.
Okay, what am I looking at?
You are looking at a twisting mass of vine with different flowers erupting out of it at different intervals. It seems to have kind of like a haze of pollen around it.
Do you speak?
It blinks at you.
Okay. Can you remind me, out of character, can you remind me the god's name? Because I'm thinking Torgal, but that's the dog from Final Fantasy. Tolgith. Okay. Are you part of Tolgith? Does it respond to do you respond to that name, or?
And you'll hear a ribbit nearby.
And that's the frog?
The frog, a frog will ribbit nearby, but it doesn't seem to come from the
Okay.
Elemental.
Are you what's the name of the villain we're fighting? The one who's trying to resurrect Torgith?
Hirja.
Okay, are you
Kranush?
Yeah, are you Kranush? Hirja? Hadmors? I just start saying.
It does not. Oddmores. It does seem to react to.
Like negatively?
No.
Oddmores. You know Oddmores?
And it kind of yes.
Okay, I'm gonna approach it. I'm in character. I don't know if you can understand me or not. I'm gonna use the same voice that I would talk to an animal with. Out of character, animal handling, only +1. Not very good at it. But, hi, I don't know what or who you are. I'm just trying to figure out what this situation is. You seem related to I forgot the name already. Because I'm thinking about Torgal from Final Fantasy 16. Tolgith?
Olgith.
Yeah,
Olgith.
it starts with an H and ends with an H, kind of.
Okay. Wait, it starts with an H. Holgith?
Kind of. Like it starts with an
TH.
like a TH
Anyways.
and ends with like a TH.
Tholgith. Okay.
Hey Rainer, thank you so much for watching. Our artist is Pika G. Make sure to check her out on Instagram. She can predict what your hair will look like in 6 months.
What a strange thing for a vine monster to say.
So the vine monster. So as you're saying Tolgeth, it doesn't seem to respond. As you're saying Admors, it seems to kind of be like turning towards you in interest and intrigue.
Yeah, I represent Admors. I'm allied with Admors. I don't know what you think of that. Maybe you don't understand anything but the word Admors. I'm still approaching it. I'm not running or making sudden movements, but I want to get like close to it.
One of the toads in the swamp is getting larger and larger.
Okay, so that would be Tolgith, probably. Probably you're Tolgith. Probably you're not super excited about me saying I'm allied to Admors. Do I have any information on Admors as like an entity? Like, is there any chance that this is what Admors looked like back then?
No, Admors as a mortal looked like was a Goliath.
Okay.
With a goatee and wore a very distinctive set of red and gold robes.
And became like a djinn and stuff.
And ascended to becoming a demigod through heroic actions.
Here's what I want to do. I have proficiency in nature. Can I try to ascertain what kind of creature this is?
Yeah.
Like, is it an elemental or?
Yeah, give me a nature roll. You know it's an elemental.
I know it's an elemental. Okay, I rolled a 10 plus 4 is 14.
Yeah, so what you get from that is you're getting that this construct is being kind of held together by the same magic that seems to be binding together the rest of this kind of like memory, this area.
Mm-hmm.
And it seems to be it kind of reminds you, well, you didn't have a childhood. You've heard stories about people who had childhoods and the terrors that they had that represented the bad things that they didn't want to have happen to them. And this might be a representation of a childhood terror common to this area.
I see. So you're a monster, and then I'm gonna turn towards the growing frog. How big is the frog at this point?
The frog at this point is the size of a capybara.
Is that how you say capybara? Am I saying it wrong?
Yes.
Okay. Hold on.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter.
I need to know how big it is.
It is.
They're the big rodents. They're like dog size.
Big rodents.
They're like bigger than a dog, right? Yeah.
Yes.
Yeah. Significant.
They're smaller than some dogs.
Like
medium
the
dog
dogs,
size.
yeah.
Yeah.
They're like a big dog, but not a huge dog.
Yeah.
So you're okay. So probably okay. I don't know what's going on. uh, can anyone else hear me from where I am, or am I like disparate from them?
So, okay. What's going on here is that you solved 3 parts of a puzzle.
Okay.
The first part was the vase.
Okay.
And there was going to be a glass construct that was going to attack the town. You saw that. There was going to be a paper elemental that attacked the town in the name of Oddmoors, or in the name of kind of like the nightmares of people who are the faithful of Tolgeth.
Mm-hmm.
And then there was a swamp monster, which is kind of like the manifestation of like Tolgeth turning on its own people, which is kind of the terror of the Jerbean. As
So we
the
solved all
Jerbean
3 of
is like
these?
trying to figure out, why doesn't anyone remember the whole, like, our whole civilization is built around this thing. Is this turning on me?
So like
Okay.
we solved all 3 of these, or not just the first 2?
Yeah. You
Okay.
have the lotus. You got the frog to sit on the lotus. You got the flowers into the vase, and you got the book on into the hands of the guy.
So there's
Cool.
only one thing left, and it has to do with this swamp elemental, which is...
The swamp elemental was walking away, seemed to be leaving.
Hey, can you come this way? You should come back. Whatever way you were going, you should come this way. Oddmoors! Oddmoors!
You want to bring the nightmare back to the faithful of Tolgeth.
Oh, I guess I had it back. I was just trying to get it to do whatever it wasn't doing, but...
No, it was going away because we solved the puzzle.
Oh.
We wanted it to go away. Otherwise, we would be fighting it right now.
Go away.
Because it's a scary monster, but it's now pacified.
Then I guess I'm satisfied, and I slink back to the rest of the party.
Okay, thanks for your slinking.
Slinking like a skink.
Do we want to do? Are we supposed to do like a ad break in the second half?
Yeah. We opened into one, so we can do another one right now. Alrighty, and we are back. So we have so as this all comes back together, the Jerbean disquieted by kind of the discoveries of nearly his entire town having no memory, and his holy site being completely purged of all evidence of his faith, is going to go to bed uneasy, and you see him scrawling out on a scroll that he's going to leave and try to go somewhere else to figure out why this has happened. As you pick up, okay, the kind of camera comes back across the eyes of the same Jerbeen, though now a scar runs across his nose. He stands at the front of a line, a suit of haphazard studded hide armor with a lotus emblazoned over the heart. The wrinkles show beneath the fur around his eyes. He stands in front of a temple, in front of a town very different from the one you knew before. Surrounded by enemies, surrounded by folks wearing mithril masks, surrounded by swamp monsters. They seem to quickly engulf this man. As you look, corpses of Jerbeen kinfolk litter the ground. You look around, you look down at your hands and feet. You have assumed the form of Jerbeens yourselves. You look at your lapel, you look over your hearts, and you see the sign of the lotus. And you hear a voice that you recognize saying, "Break the line! You must not let the swamp's chosen be taken!" So into this chaos, you are thrust. 4 resistance warriors fighting against a group of Admorzian fighters. You are kind of flashing on this memory. How did you get here? And this is one of the few towns that remain as a holdout against the Memnomantic magics of Admors. And there are a number of people huddled in this temple, trying to hold out until they can escape, as the Memnomantic ritual is being brought to a close in the city around them. You are this character, this Jerbeen, Mr. Bean that you had met, seems to be in a leadership role, and after having been whisked away, you see him kind of dragged down into an underground entrance area before the line closes around him.
What line?
The line of enemies.
Before they arrive?
Before they close, then get in front of you. So you're here, you're looking at this from where you are. You just saw the man, the Jerbeen from the previous vision, get drawn into the crowd in front of you and dragged down into a sewage grate, basically.
Okay, so he got captured
Yep.
by Admorzians. Okay, he's gone now, because then the line reforms.
And the line reforms in front of him.
Got
and
it.
so they're saying, break the line!
And they wanted to stop him from being dragged away. But now it's too late. It's over.
Well, they want you to make sure whatever they're going to do to him down there doesn't happen.
Okay. And this time it seems like people see and interact with us and everything.
Yes, you seem to have corporeal forms. You are other Jerbeens.
Okay, cool. Well, we can maybe all glance at each other.
You look at each other, you see each other as Jerbeens, and you kind of see it's kind of like an overlay. You also can see a bit of your true selves in this moment as well. Your weapons are there with you.
I'm just gonna like pick up a stone and try and cast light on it real quick. Does it work?
Cast light. Yep.
Okay.
It shines. People seem to react to it.
So I think that so it seems like that. Okay, maybe in character. Okay. So I guess we should probably charge and fight our way through and try to save him.
Yeah, we gotta go get Mr. Bean. We gotta save Mr. Bean, guys.
Mr.
So tell me about.
That's what we're calling him.
Tell me about how the four of you are going to drive a wedge into this line. We're going to go into kind of a table LARPy scene here where we're going to narrate together.
Do I have my stats despite the being okay? Well,
you're you.
I'm linebacker mode. I leveled up. I leveled up. I leveled up my strength for a reason. I'm gonna just athletics it. I got +11 to athletics. I'm gonna just charge shoulder first and try to break the line.
So wait, do you want to take turns or do you want to describe it as a group?
Let's so this is how Zinsha. So Zinsha seeing a wall, knows the answer to wall is battering ram, and inserts themselves as the battering ram. Go ahead. Bayou, what are you doing?
Cast, like enhance ability on Zinsha?
You want to just like absolutely double down on this like pushing through the line?
Yeah.
Tell me what that looks like. Like tell me like how would Bayou's magic look like making your friend into a wedge?
I'm thinking that as Bay moves through this journey of faith or loss of faith, they're moving farther and farther away from water, and I like to imagine that the water is just sort of dissolving into light. So I think there's like maybe a push of water, and as the water moves towards Zinsha, it sort of absorbs into their body with like little ripples of light coming off of it as it's absorbed as it lands.
So Erish, as this is happening, you see Bayou channeling this energy, and you see the magical energy starting to get drawn into the crowd around Zinsha. Zinsha tries to push forward. What would you like to do?
I think Erish would like to join in on the rushing in to be able to get to this as fast as possible, but in that she would be casting a wave of agony to try to stop a lot of this line in its tracks, and so almost we can push into some of them to knock them out, but if the spell takes hold, they won't be able to move. Their speed will be 0. They will take necrotic damage, and we can essentially batter some of them down but move past them after some of them have been taken down, is my thought. So like you have holes but they're stuck in place and we can get past.
It'll turn them from resistant members to bowling pins, right? Like
exactly.
Cool. So you all as a group, with Zinsha as your kind of lead, you push into the middle of the line, and now you're all kind of surrounded as the camera swings around to Celstrina, as you see yourself kind of starting to make forward momentum and the line closes in front of you. You're about halfway between the sewage grate and where you started. What is Celstrina doing in this moment?
I do have a spell that lets me teleport, so I could just like teleport to like the grate and try and start getting through it.
Is that what you do?
Yeah, maybe like as this like the line is being driven, like I can teleport me and one other. So maybe me and Bay teleport over there, over to the grate, and we can start opening up the line from behind and like kind of like causing distractions or generally like surprising them from behind to like make it to that Zinsha and Erish are able to come meet us at the grate.
Okay, cool. So you're gonna try to like instead of staying as kind of one solid phalanx, you're gonna try to cause chaos among their ranks and try to use that chaos. What spell are you casting?
Thunderstep.
Oh, okay. I mean, if you're gonna give me resources, like we've had 7 level spells spent so far, right? So yeah, I'm gonna give you that like this. So then our last thing is Zinsha, give me an athletics check with advantage.
All right, first roll is a 5 plus 11 is 16, but let's see what else. 10 plus 11 is 21.
Is
Your
there
dice
like
don't like you much.
Not today. I mean, I was rolling really hot last session. I don't know if you remember. I think I crit
don't.
twice.
But that makes sense. Yeah, Celestrina Adora passed you along her loaded dice for last session.
Yes.
I am engaging with this like description without enough information to know that like using a spell is a bad idea. Like
I don't
what
think it's a bad idea.
Okay.
I didn't
great.
mean to assert that. With the exchange of resources, yeah, it will solve. So, it's just a decision. So
I just think that I don't have enough information to know what I'm spending resources for or what the resources will be used for. I'm a warlock. I am assuming that I'm going to do this and then later I can just do it again because I'm a warlock. But if that's not true, like I don't know. I feel like as a player, I would like to know how to engage with this activity a little bit more.
So think of it as you are going through a more or less this is a skill challenge, right?
Okay.
And so there are ways to kind of do creative storytelling things and roll dice and see what happens, or there are ways to kind of like give yourself you can use a resource to get yourself to that end goal.
Cool. Yeah, okay. So then that makes sense. I think it's good for me to use leveled spells as a warlock. So I can do it. In fact, what we can do is like the thunder step is really loud. So it's probably going to like, be already some chaos and distraction and it can spread out the like thunder damage or whatever from the source of it. Then me and Bay can land over there and start using our resources and like our cantrips and stuff and just like, yeah, causing chaos and maybe trying to get into the grate if it's locked.
So the people who have Mr. Bean have already exited into the grate. We can no longer see them?
You do not see them, no.
Okay. Then yes, let's do that.
Great.
Okay, so Celestrina and Bayou step through it with a clash of thunder. Celestrina's emerald-bladed great sword slams into the earth. As she does, she moves through the Feywild, sliding along, coming out just the other side of this line, erupting from the back, swinging her emerald sword with claps of thunder erupting and sending terror throughout the Admorsian line. Bayou, what are you doing in this moment?
I think I have cat. So, like, how closely? What's the terrain here? Like, are we in between buildings? We're in the city?
Yeah, you're in the center city. You're in like a main plaza, and you have moved kind of from like a central plaza, like coming off of the entry of a religious temple, to a kind of like in between, like on getting more towards the corner of an intersection.
What is the
Of two kind of
dispersion
roadways.
of the two forces looking like right now? Like, how grouped together are the two forces, and where are they in relation to each other?
You're talking about the Gerbian resistance and the Admorsians?
Yeah.
The Gerbian resistance seems to be pushing back against the Admorsians. They are in a group, maybe about kind of on a hill. It's a series of staircases that go up towards the temple entrance, and the Gerbian are kind of in this, using these stairways as kind of like a choke point, and are trying to funnel the Admorsians into them that way. And this is maybe about 400 or 500 feet from where you are currently, like all the way on the exterior on the other side of this line of this melee.
400 to 500 feet. Okay.
I'm not looking. So my prompt is, as Celstrina is looking to cause chaos with
Yeah.
thunder and all this
No,
stuff.
I was gonna do a cool thing. Okay. Yeah. So I'll summon like a spiritual weapon and have that just be like running around swinging wildly at people. And then I'm just gonna be shooting out whatever my sacred flame.
Okay, so spouts of flame erupt as as early Malo Pelu, actually no, the Malo Pelu weren't made yet, as early Malgaktarians are burned by magic that seems very familiar to them, but somehow a little bit different. It's a little spicy, but a little sweet. As these spouts of radiant magic slam into them and cause chaos in their line. As all this is happening, Zincha lowers her shoulder and starts to push through, make her final push for the grate. Erish, what are you doing as you're kind of riding behind the wedge?
I think Erish, after kind of throwing out that wave of agony to try to help with the wedge, I think she is just rushing in with Zincha, kind of playing backup of like anybody, if there's somebody who maybe Zincha can't get to, or kind of spotting for Zincha to make that wedge even more precise. Essentially, like if somebody's coming for Zincha, able to swat away or guard for Zincha to push through.
As you're moving forward, Erish spots a pair of Goliath moving across the battlefield, something that might really be an impediment to Zincha right in their tracks. And as you do that, Zincha is pushing forward with the obsidian greatsword, the butt, using that to be the kind of center of the wedge, pushing. And as you see this, you kind of, the large flat blade of the obsidian greatsword, Erish steps up onto it, and Zincha's just pure muscle, so it doesn't matter to her. And you see Erish kind of just jump up across the battlefield and drive the stun baton into one of the Goliaths, and you ride the Goliath down into the mess, the melee beneath you, and clear a path to the grate for you and Zincha. You arrive, you pop the grate open, and you descend into this tunnel system beneath the city. You can tell that there are two rituals going in two different directions. One has a presence that is familiar to Celstrina, as your sword hums. The further you walk down that direction, it seems to really vibrate loudly. Or you have the other direction, where it doesn't seem to do so as much. And the magical signatures seem to be equally strong coming from either direction.
Oh, they look at each other. Which way do we go?
Right or left?
Yeah, so out of character, what could this be? Could that be does Zincha feel anything from the direction that my blade is resonating with? I assume that's dragon related.
Yeah, do I feel anything from the direction that your blade is resonating with? That's probably dragon related.
You actually feel it more with the direction that the blade does not resonate with.
No, I'm actually drawn to this direction, this other way.
But that direction has like memory magic smell.
Memory
because
magic
it's
smell.
Yeah, that's the like that's the like thing that I am recognizing because
me when the popper brings back locked memories. I don't. Okay.
Would it make sense for us to split up and investigate both?
Grinder's going off right now.
Sorry, say that again, Trev.
Would it make sense for us to split up and investigate both?
At the very least, I can.
Out of character, hey Molly, does it make sense for us to split? Okay, cool. Let's not split up.
I can send Josephine down the other way, but I think we should go in the direction that smells of the memory magic we're inside of right now.
So
I
which way
agree.
do you want to go?
We're going swordward, but sending Josephine the other way.
Okay.
Okay. I'll trust your tactics.
Bayou, do you abide?
Tactics, you say.
Yeah, Bay would want to go follow the
Okay.
memory magic.
Erish?
Sure.
You will arrive to. Oh, I can't operate on that one. I need to operate from this one. You will arrive to a putrid chamber with a moat crossing it, a row of kind of liquid waste seems to fill the middle of this area as it runs through. You hear and smell the running water. As you do, Celstrina, you see an emerald shade, well, a pile, a collection of dust that seems to take on an emerald hue that resonates with your sword, that seems to pulse with the same magic as the spine that's in your sword.
A pile of dust?
Yep.
But it's in a shape?
It is kind of, it is like kind of a cloud of dust at this moment in the distance, probably about 60 feet out. It's up on kind of like a small stone dais in this area.
The cloud of emerald dust. Got it.
And it will look at you and it will say, "It's been a long time since that ship, huh?" And that's where we'll pick up.
Oh no! I love that.
Oh,
Thank you so much for spending another day with us here on the Concord Nilmananji. My name is Molly. And I'm going to throw it over to Adora. Adora, what are you plugging?
I'm plugging. I'd come back to me because I know what I'm plugging, but I want to make sure I have it ready.
Scarlett, what are you plugging?
Just being kind to each other.
Being kind to each other and pet your cat. If you've learned one thing from the Concord Nilmananji, it's to pet the cat. I should have had a cat.
As a treat.
As a treat. Trev, what are you plugging?
You know what? I think I'm just plugging a good old walk outside. It's good to take walks. Just go spend some time outside if you're able to.
Penny, what are you plugging?
Oh, Penny, you go.
I plug the same thing every week. Slay the Spire, the board game, is now officially in the top 50 board games on Board Game Geek.
Woo!
And when I say top 50, what I mean is it's number 50. That's top 50. That's top 50. So
top 50. Count it.
Yeah. So yeah, give me. And I will say this: the way that markets work is if the tariffs have us increasing the price, that will increase the MSRP. So buy it now. Pay me my rent money now. I mean, buy the game now while it's still the same price.
Yeah.
Although the tariffs went down. Oh wait, what? No, they went back. Sorry, they went down again. Sorry, they went up again. Sorry.
Adora, what are you plugging?
I'm plugging linkter.e/transrelocationpnw, which I just put in the chat, because if you are not local to the Pacific Northwest, you can still go here and go to, okay, I'm actually not sure where exactly to go, but there's, I'll make sure there's a link there for if you're like wanting to help out somewhere else, but it's here. If you need to escape, if you're transgender and the place that you are is not safe and you want to come to the Pacific Northwest, then go to this link because there's a link for that and we will help you. And if you want to help out with that process, help other people, also go to this link. This link has both things. That is my plug. This is what I do.
Thank you so much for doing that, Adora. Appreciate you. That's a great plug.
Would hate to follow that, girl.
How much cat hair?
My plug is for unabated queer joy. I think right now the best thing that you can do is do something really, really queer. Do it. Just do it. Whatever it is. If it's Penny,
sorry,
do it. If it's Trev, do them. Whatever. Just do something really queer. Be kind.
Be kind, rewind.
Be kind, rewind.
All right.
Was
All
that
right, loved people.
Blockbuster Video?
Yeah.
You're plugging Blockbuster?
No, Be Kind, Rewind. That was when you would get the VHS.
I don't-
Yes, that was when you would get the
Okay.
VHS.
We